afternoon, you're watching ABC News. This is ABC Midday, and I am Peggy Nyakwabano. Coming up in the next hour, the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference and the Christian Council of Ghana have resisted calls for Christian mission schools to allow students of other faiths to practice their religious beliefs while in school. Education Minister Haruna Idrisu has appealed to the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana to give the government 2 weeks to address its concern on their recently declared strike. Still to come, President Mahama has approved a 2-year extension for Inspector General of Police Christian Tete Yohonu following a recommendation by the Police Council. In business, Ghana's public debt has increased to 684.6 billion Ghana cedis as of September, according to the Bank of Ghana's latest economic data. On the international front, Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has confirmed that all 24 schoolgirls held by assailants following a mass abduction last week from a school in northwestern Nigeria have been rescued. Stay with us, we have details of these and more coming up shortly.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Aye easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnuts. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
Watching ABC Midday News live on ABC News Ghana Television. We're streaming live on Facebook at ABC News GH _ now to our stories. A late night fire at Dantuma Market has led to the death of an 8-year-old girl and the destruction of numerous wooden stalls, according to the Ghana National Fire Service. The fire broke out just after midnight and was quickly reported, with the first firefighting team arriving within minutes. As the flames spread across several parts of the market, additional fire engines and water tankers were deployed from various stations. Firefighters managed to contain the fire by 1:51 a.m. and fully control it by 3:03 a.m., then began clearing remaining hotspots. Sadly, the young girl who was trapped inside one of the shops could not be saved. Her body has been handed over to police as investigations into the cause of the fire continue. Although many structures were lost, firefighters successfully protected nearby shops and the area has now been secured while damage assessments are underway. We'll bring you updates on this story, but away from that, the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference and the Christian Council of Ghana have called for Christian mission schools to be allowed to retain their Christian identity, traditions and rules amid ongoing national debate over the rights of Muslim students in such institutions. This comes as the Supreme Court hears a case against Wesley Girls Senior High School, where lawyer Shafiq Osman alleges school prevents Muslim students from praying, fasting and practicing other aspects of their faith. The court has ordered Wesley Girls to respond within 14 days and has permitted civil society group Democracy Hub to join as amicus curiae. Attorney General Dr. Dominic Anyine, meanwhile, has rejected claims of discrimination asserting that the Methodist-run school retains the right to enforce rules reflecting its Christian foundation, even if this limits certain religious expressions. In a joint statement issued on Tuesday, November 25, the Christian Council and Catholic bishops said the debate reflects a misunderstanding of what history and purpose of mission schools. They explained that these schools were established, owned, and operated by churches long before the Ghanaian state existed, and current government support does not grant the state authority to redefine their identity. Still on this, Education Minister Haruna Idrisu has stressed that the government will ensure no student is deprived of their right to practice their religion in any secondary school. He was reacting to claims that Muslim students at the Wesley Girls High School are being prevented from practicing their religion. The central issue in suit filed by private legal practitioner Shafiq Osman. Speaking on the floor of Parliament on Tuesday, November 25, 2025, Mr. Idrisu stated that any action that denies students of their religious rights will not be countenanced.
Mr. Speaker, let me also use this opportunity in debating the budget, since I speak as the present Minister for Education, that there is some ongoing debate on restrictions on Muslim students in Wesley Girls, which conflicts with international human rights standards and even standard expected of us in Ghana's Constitution and Article 33(5) and 26(1) of the Constitution. And then to assure our colleagues that we have a duty to uphold the rights of every Ghanaian child and to uphold the rights of every Ghanaian citizen. No right is divisible, and that we will not countenance any action by any person to deny any Ghanaian girl the opportunity to profess or practice.
Now, private legal practitioner Zakaria Tanko Musa has stressed the need for greater inclusion and tolerance in the ongoing Wesley Girls saga. He noted that if individuals are denied their basic fundamental rights that do not significantly interfere with the operations of an institution, then the country must re-examine its approach to such issues. Tanko added that Ghana has slipped when it comes to tolerance and urged the decline in order to begin strengthening civic education. He warned that failing to address this trend is dangerous in day and age.
All of these things, I don't think we should be litigating them, because we've come to a certain stage where we need to look at the international standards, we need to look at inclusion, not exclusion, we need to look at tolerance. And for me, if we cannot tolerate each other to the extent that we are looking at denying people some basic fundamental rights, that does not disproportionately interfere with the rights of the institutions. That tells me that we need to really have a look at the whole way we do things. Because frankly, I went to a school, Accra High School, it's a Methodist school. I went there from O-level to A-level. I go to the Wednesday sessions. It didn't stop me from practicing my religion, but it didn't also stop me from incorporating some of the teachings of Christianity and all that. So I don't know where we have slipped. I think we have slipped in terms of our tolerance level, and the earlier we acknowledge that, the better, so that we can start looking at some sort of civic education, because it is a very dangerous thing to do. You cannot, in this day and age, even some of those extreme countries that looks at things from a very narrow religious perspective, they realize that actually they are being cut off, because we live in a global village and we all need to learn to accommodate each other, integrate into each society so that we appreciate each other better. All of these things, I don't think we should be litigating them, because we've come to a certain stage where we
is the president of the Catholic Bishops Conference, Most Reverend Matthew Kwesi Jemfi. Good afternoon, Tani. Welcome to ABC News Ghana Television. Hello, Most Reverend. Good afternoon and welcome to ABC News Ghana Television.
Hello?
Hello, Reverend. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
All right. You're welcome to ABC News Ghana Television.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Now, with regards to the Wesley Girls saga, how does the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference reconcile the preservation of Christian identity in mission schools with Ghana's broader commitment to religious tolerance and inclusivity?
You see, the missions that started the school, they have a purpose, aim, with which they start the school. To give students, in addition to academic performance, a special orientation to life, approach to life, a philosophy, in addition to academic work. Okay, so that is the culture, that is the tradition of the school with which they started. So if government comes in to assist, it does not mean that because you are assisting, you are also destroying or taking away that culture. That will also be unfair. It will also not be democratic. It will also not be tolerance. And it is also not constitutional. So we don't see the problem. What is the problem? All along, schools have existed. Muslims have gone to Catholic schools. Catholics have gone to Presbyterian schools. Presbyterians have gone to Muslim schools. Since when did anybody prevent anybody from tolerating or practicing his religion or saying that because you are this, I won't allow you to come to this school? But you see, what you should realize that you cannot allow the whole gamut of another religion to come and coexist parallel with the discipline that is already in another school. The Muslims will not tolerate that. Catholics will not tolerate that. Presbyterians will not tolerate that. And in the schools, all the schools that are funded by the nations, they know what they do there. They allow other people to be there. But then their philosophy, their outlook on this is what guides the general behavior and attitude in the school. What is the intolerance about this?
All right, Most Reverend, what would be the injury to these mission schools if students of other faiths are allowed to practice their religion?
Come again.
What would be the injury? How will it impact mission schools if other students or students of other faiths are allowed to practice extensively their religion?
You know, they are allowed, but then there must be a general, those who fund this, that is the general one. But you can also, for example, if we have a Catholic school, they can put up their own church building in the school and the land that they have acquired. You cannot say that I'm also a Presbyterian, therefore I'm coming to your school, so all Presbyterians should also put up church buildings over here. You cannot say that this is, say, a Presbyterian school, and they worship, say, on Sunday. So there are Muslim students there. So in the course of the week, on Fridays, Muslims will exempt themselves from class to go and say they are going to pray because that is their day. You cannot say that I'm a Muslim, I'm in an Anglican school, therefore I put on the hijab. That is not their code of conduct with respect to dress. So you cannot say that me, I will come to them, but then you have to allow me to dress like that. I mean, I really find it very difficult why people argue about these things. If you like, listen, if you like, you let the government schools, let them introduce and allow all of this. Let all the churches put up mosque there. Let Muslims go to church on Friday. They don't come to class. They do not have any assembly. Let them do it. Let them experiment that, and then they can introduce it to us how they have done it successfully over there.
Most Reverend,
Let them do that.
okay. Most Reverend, in the case of Wesley girls, what they are asking for is to be permitted to fast and do practice Ramadan, observe Ramadan, and fast when it's time for them to fast. That's what the students of Wesley girls are asking for. The argument concerning Wesley Girls High School is about.
Yes. Nobody says they should not fast, but the school says the experience of the school is not that they are discriminating against fasting or anything. In fact, our recent survey shows that, in fact, it's the Pentecostals who fast most in our schools, not the Muslims. And the school says, at this age, for the young girls and those things, to do fasting is injurious to their health and to the academic work. So, if anything happens in the course of the fasting, it is the headmistress or the headmaster who will be held responsible. So, the school says, don't fast as students. Okay, now, since the Wesley Girls saga, all the religious bodies and our heads have sat down, and we have come out with a memorandum of understanding to guide religious tolerance in schools. We have all signed, including the chief imam and the head of the Presbyterian, Methodist, Anglican, and then we have signed. So in it, you find out like, now, if there are students in a school who want to fast, but the code says, no, you can't fast, no problem. Let your parents or your guardians come and do an undertaking that they have allowing you to fast. So if anything happens to you, the headmaster is not responsible, is not supposed to be held what? Responsible. And they have assigned that. You have all agreed that. So the issue of the students not fasting in schools any longer is not there. You just have to do this and guarantee that this is your son, this is your daughter, you said he can fast. Good, then they can fast. But you cannot say that this is the time that the dining hall should give us food around this time. When in the school code of conduct, you are supposed to have supper at this time. And you are supposed to be in class at this time. And you are supposed to be in this at that time. You cannot make those exemptions for students because it will bring, it make administration and discipline and it make the school ungovernable. People should be very, very radical, know what goes on, should be understanding, not radical, but what goes on in a school. School management of so many people together, there should be laws and regulations and order to make the school a place where they will achieve the academic excellence. And if you include the whole gamut of every religion and doing what and when, praying when they want to pray, sleeping when they want to sleep, eating when they want to eat, not coming to assembly, and they also having their gathering here and there, well, we are saying let the state experiment that in the state schools, and then let them give us the results that, look, we have been able to do this and everything is going on very, very well. And I don't think even the state schools, they allow that.
All right, Most Reverend, in your statement, you mentioned that you signed a memorandum of understanding with the government. Permit me to read. In this context, we note that the memorandum of understanding adopted by government-assisted and private mission schools, which was validated on 15th April 2024, developed by the Conference of Managers of Education Units with support and the National Peace Council. The MOU affirms a long-standing partnership between the government and mission bodies. It recognizes the vital role of the missions and draws the 1992's Constitution of equal educational opportunities. Now, when we say equal educational opportunities, in this case, the Memorandum of Understanding also gives the students the opportunity to fast, or give schools to ask schools to give students the opportunity to fast. So isn't this going against the memorandum of understanding signed?
No, nowhere. Rather, it reinforces the memorandum of understanding. The purpose of the memorandum of understanding is not to bring chaos in the schools. No, it is to help bring order. How the different religious groups in the schools, in addition to academic excellence, human formation, we also train them to be spiritual, without necessarily converting anybody, doing any proselytism, etc. in the schools. It's just to bring order and tolerance. That is why it is titled to guide religious tolerance in the schools. And all the religious leaders have agreed. No problem. So why is any politician telling us that what we ourselves have agreed, that our agreement, is it not good? Then are they the ones who are telling us what is good for us?
Most
What is the argument again?
Most Reverend, now I would like to read out from the Memorandum of Understanding signed. It has here on the issue of fasting, students should be allowed to fast. However, permission should be sought by parents, guardians, from school authorities, and requisite counseling provided before the period of fast commences. Students will, however, abide by all school rules and regulations. Any health-related effects of the fast, on the other hand, are not school's responsibility. So if these students have signed the agreements with the school, as you mentioned, shouldn't they be allowed to go ahead with their fasting?
Yes, they can go ahead. Nobody is preventing that. As long as the parents guarantee, they can fast. Nobody is preventing them from fasting. But you see, the Wesley girls issue, by that time, this memorandum of understanding had not been done. And so the school just took it generally that young girls of that age should not do the protracted fasting. It will affect them academically and even probably physically. And in the worst scenario, something may even happen. And then the headmistress will be held responsible. Because once they bring their children to the school, it is the headmaster or headmistress who should take care. So since they cannot take such responsibilities, that is why they didn't allow or they didn't encourage the students to fast. But now, after that, because some people protested that they were not doing this and that, that is why we all sat down. And you read that book, you find out that the Ahmadiyya Mission, the AME Zion, the Anglican Church, Assemblies of God, Ghana Baptist Convention, the Catholic Church, Evangelical Presbyterian Church, Office of the National Chief Imam, Methodist, Presbyterian Church, Salvation Army, Garrison Education, Police Education, we have all signed to this. So why should anybody reawaken this issue again? As if some churches or some schools are preventing religious tolerance. Where is it? Let them point it out. For us, who is discriminating against whom in any of the schools?
Right. Finally, Most Reverend, you argue that parents freely choose mission schools knowing they operate among Christian principles. Now, how do you respond to those who believe that accepting students of all faith should obligate mission schools to adjust their religious rules in the name of equal treatment?
Yes, that is the argument that is going on now. If you listen to some of the statements, and when you say that, you say this is a mission school, the mission should compromise or leave all those things and allow everybody's level, whole gamut of religion to prevail in the school. We think that is going far wayward. It is our philosophy, those who founded the school, our culture, our tradition, our discipline, that has maintained and sustained the school the way it is, that has made it appealing to even people who do not belong to the religion of the founders to even send their children over there. Of course, sometimes it is necessity because it may be the only school available over there. But generally, when people choose this school, they said, we want this school, we want this school. They mention certain characteristics why they want their children to go there. And then they know it. And these schools, they know, also allow their children to also practice their religion. They don't proselytize them. They don't bring this thing. Religious tolerance have been in our schools since aeon. We don't know why people should make a fuss about it, as if people have not been tolerating religion. Is it in a Catholic school? Take the Presbyterian schools, take the Methodist schools, take the Anglican schools, where have they discriminated against anybody? And the Muslim schools, they also have Catholics there. They also have this. They have lived with them peacefully. So who discriminated against who? But if a headmistress is obeying the school regulations that young people, as an educationist, not only as a religion, he's not a pastor, but as an educationist who knows children of that age who fast, and he thinks that it may cause harm. Should the harm be caused? Should she be held responsible for that? No. So now that you parent, you come and you say, it's my son, it's my this, I want him to fast. Good, no problem. And that is in the memorandum of understanding. But our cultures in the school, the government cannot say that I assist you, therefore push away all your Catholicism.
Right.
And let everybody place his Methodism or Islamic or this and that in your school. As if the school is a church. That one will not pass. It will not pass.
All right. For your time this afternoon, Most Reverend.
Thank you very much.
Right. That was the president of the Catholic Bishops' Conference, Most Reverend Matthew Kwesi Jemfi. Now, in other news, the Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu, has appealed to the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana to call off its indefinite strike, assuring that the government will resolve their outstanding concerns within 2 weeks. CTAC declared a nationwide strike on Monday, November 24, citing the government's failure to fully implement the National Labour Commission's arbitral award issued on May 2, 2023. The strike affects the colleges of education across the country. Addressing journalists after a meeting with CTAC leadership on Tuesday, November 25, the minister said the government is committed to addressing the long-standing issues and urged the association to consult its members to heed to the request. We are negotiating. There were issues for which the National Labour Commission made a declaration and award in CTAC's favor, which have not been respected by the government since 2022. We will see how we can remedy the situation, he said. I have asked them to consider calling off the strike and giving us 2 weeks to see what the state can do. It goes back to 2022, but we will fix it within the next 2 weeks. The ball is in their court. Meanwhile, the leadership of CTAC says it will consult its National Executive Committee on the minister's request and convey the decision back to the ministry in the course of the week. Joining us on the line is Isaiah Dokrong, a member of the National Communication Committee of CTAC. Good afternoon, sir, and welcome to ABC News Ghana Television.
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you, my sister?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm also doing well. But let me correct this thing before we go. I am a member of research and publication committee, not communication. Research and publication committee.
All right. Very well noted. Thank you for your correction. Star has asked for 2 weeks to address your issue. What do you make of that?
Come again.
The minister has asked for 2 weeks to address your issue. What is your response to that?
Honestly, in our platform, it is 3 weeks. It is not 2 weeks. Maybe if it is say any place that it is 2 weeks, the minister made it in our platform that it is 3 weeks. But anyway, if it is even 2 weeks, but what is actually happening, we are law-abiding people and we follow all due process before we have gotten here. I was thinking that the minister would have even asked controller to pay us straight away. It's better than him postponing it to 2 weeks. And what we are to do as a union, we are going to have council meeting next week, this week Friday. So in the council meeting, as a body for decision making, we will take our decision from there. Then we will then know what to do. As of now, my dear sister, individual cannot take a decision, say that CETA will do this or CETA will do this. We are to take a decision at the decision-taking body, that is the National Council.
So what outcomes are you expecting to come out of the duration that the minister has asked for to work on your request? What outcomes are you expecting?
Yes, I'm expecting 2 outcomes. One is for us to reject it or to accept it. These are the 2 outcomes I'm expecting because I don't have specific outcome.
Thank you for your time this afternoon, sir.
Yeah, also thank you so much for you, giving me the opportunity to explain our part of the problem to the public. Thank you so much, my sister. I'm always relying on you to also let Ghanaians hear my voice. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. That was Isaiah Dokrong, a member of the Research and Publication Committee of CETAG. Now, away from that, President John Dramani Mahama has approved a 2-year extension for Inspector General of Police Christian Tete Yohunu, following a recommendation by the Police Council. The extension allows IGP Yohunu to continue leading the Ghana Police Service as it deepens ongoing reforms and strengthens national security. The move is aimed at ensuring continuity in security management and sustaining progress achieved under his leadership. Appointed earlier this year, IGP Yohunu has been credited with enhancing police visibility, improving crime response strategies, and advancing community policing initiatives across the country. He was originally expected to retire in December 2025. We'll be bringing you some conversations on this later, but away from that, the majority side of Parliament's Lands and Natural Resources Committee is calling for amendments to the Minerals and Mining Act, Act 703, to enable the government to increase the proposed royalty rate for the Ewoya lithium project. Under the current law, Ghana can charge only a 5% royalty on mining companies' interest. This limitation forced the Lands Ministry to renegotiate the previously announced 10% rate, which critics argued had no legal backing. Addressing journalists on Tuesday, November 25, Committee Chairman Collins Dauda explained that the earlier 10% arrangement was rejected because it contravened existing legislation. According to the committee, the Minerals and Mining Amendment Act 2010 explicitly sets a fixed royalty rate of 5%, making the 10% provision in the original agreement between the Kufuor administration and the Barari DV Ghana Limited unlawful.
We enacted a law, and the agreement that was presented to us also derived its authority from Act 703. It was extremely difficult for us to pass an agreement which contained a provision which was at variance with the provision of the law. So we advised the minister then to take steps to amend the law in order that Ghana will benefit more by way of royalties. That didn't happen. A report was not presented to the House, and so that was it in respect of the legal challenge. The second challenge was this: the 10%, because it was not provided for by law, but was provided for in the agreement between Ghana and Barari DV Ghana Limited. What it means is that it was only Barari DV Ghana Limited which was going to pay royalties on lithium at 10%, while the other mining giants like Newmont, like Goldfields, like Anglo Gold and others were going to stay on at 5%. We felt it was unfair and also discriminatory. And so based on these two, the legal challenge and this unfairness in the market, we advised the minister to take steps to amend the law to reflect what he put in the agreement. That was the challenge. But we didn't see how we're going to recommend 10% to the House when indeed the source or the authority of the agreement frowned against the 10%.
We're going for a quick commercial break. We'll be back with more news. Stay tuned.
Rent back with the beer open. Come on, come see you. We're this guy. My friend, still form.
It's the Telestar Too Much Money promo. Win cash daily, weekly, and a grand prize of 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Just reload or buy a bundle with Telestar Cash to earn points and stand a chance to win big. Dial *500# or visit the Telestar Play app to opt in and start winning in the Telestar Too Much Money promo. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
When is campaign? If you're a baby, many schedule no. If you know, meto chiaka. Inti ene, uno banu mumpe baby amubeda. Oh, no abeka. You did too much money. No matter.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Magic pepper and onion, a delicious tomato mix with tomato, pepper and onion. No grinding, no blending. Ya yeni na da da da. So pa mediane no abe.
Come on, Gino, do your magic.
And papa no kunu abe fi.
Tasty magic.
Gino Magic Pepper and Onion. The magic that brings them home.
This advert is FDA approved.
Imagine a sport without rules, a game without passion, an arena without chance. What drives the champions? What fuels the rivalry? What separates the winners from the rest in the world of sports?
On the show, we shall start by interrogating your athletes of matters with expert insight, former renowned medical professionals, providing you with actionable advice and cutting-edge knowledge to prevent injuries and optimize performance. They will connect you to the talking points where we'll bring you the big names, the famous faces, and leading voices on our radar in the world of sports for a lively conversation and diverse perspective.
Eugene Soti, your chief data guy on the talking points. On the African Tracker, I'll break down the performance of your favorite African players abroad, scrutinizing every detail and exploring the nuances and rules governing the game.
Meet us in your area for Area Take as we plug into sports perspective and hear your thoughts on every play of the game.
On Ghana Focus, we shall spotlight our domestic leagues and heroes of other sporting disciplines.
I'm James Makion, your go-to expert for everything local. I'll review the fixtures from the locker room to the pitch and from the management to the fans. I've got you covered.
Oh la la! Don't miss out on the double excitement. It's a fun pack, pulsating and complete wrap of everything in sports, from boxing to football, tennis, NBA and more. Sports World on ABC with Victor and the team as every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Sports World on ABC. Sports beyond borders.
Welcome back from the break. You're still watching ABC Midday News here on ABC News Ghana Television. We're streaming live on Facebook at ABC News GH_. In the world of business, Ghana's public debt increased by 71.6 billion Ghana cedis in the third quarter of 2025, bringing the total to 684.6 billion Ghana cedis, approximately $55.1 billion as of September, according to the Bank of Ghana's latest economic data. Although the debt rose during the quarter and now equals 48.9% of GDP, up from 613 billion Ghana cedis in June, the broader outlook remains positive. From January to September 2025, the country reduced its overall debt by 67.5 billion Ghana cedis, with a year-on-year drop of 125.4 billion Ghana cedis compared to September 2024. The sharp quarterly rise was mainly driven by external debt, which jumped to 367 billion Ghana cedis from 300.3 billion Ghana cedis in June. Still, over longer periods, external debt has declined significantly, down 432 billion Ghana cedis since the start of the year and 508.6 billion Ghana cedis compared to a year earlier, now representing 26.2% of GDP. Domestic debt saw only slight growth, rising to 317.6 billion Ghana cedis from 312.7 billion Ghana cedis in June, with minimal changes over the year. The Bank of Ghana places Ghana's nominal GDP at 1.4 trillion Ghana cedis, forming the basis for the updated debt to GDP ratios. In more business news, the deputy of the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, Samuel Amwa, has called on the Ghana Police Service to enforce the transport laws which seek to punish drivers who charge unapproved fees. Speaking on ABC in the morning on the issue, he stated that GPRTU has reported the incidents to the security services, but no actions have been taken.
In the transport sector, there is a law that governs the transport operations in Ghana, a law that governs, our operations. In 2012, the Parliament passed a law, Road Traffic Act 2012, LI 2180. This is the law that the police use, to prosecute drivers when they flouted laws, like maybe parking at unauthorized places, not renewing your roadworthy or your insurance and all that. All the offenses are in that very book. And in the same book, there is an article, that is the Regulation 121. The Regulation 121 says that if one has to be a commercial transport operator, or if someone wants to be a commercial transport operator, such operator must belong to an existing transport union. It's in the law. And when you continue reading it, it says that if someone is being caught or being arrested, that driver doesn't belong to any of the union, any of the existing union, the law says that you have to be prosecuted and sent to court. And the charges, the fine is that you'll be charged not more than 25 penalty units, or you can, be sentenced to 3 months imprisonment, or the both sanctions can be,
That's all for business news. Up next is sports with James Oheneba Makion.
Betway's Bet Influencer, a groundbreaking feature where you can make money by just sharing codes. He just needs to share his codes and make money. The more his codes are used, the more money he makes. Oh yes, so what are you waiting for? Anyone can be a bet influencer. Share your codes and make money. Bet Influencer, another world first from Betway.
This advert has been approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more.
Hey there and welcome to Streets Midday. On this episode, we are at Circle going to ask people a few questions about the new products of Gino. Stay tuned and follow me. Pacho, your first say? Okay. Into your first question, one say, we share Gino adverts now. Omo nyumbi, and they know omo can be wo. Omo can they?
Gino, my Chris, hi, Ananyano.
3 sentences, 3 words. Wait me a catch me, Gino, bibi. Wait me a catch me.
Oh, love you, wanna.
But I want to mean Gino.
Wow, I love Gino. I can't miss this one. Is Gino pepper and onion?
Yes, that's correct. So here's your gifts for it.
Wow, thank you.
Hey, Gino. Tomatoes paste. And yeah, the onion, na pepper wom, bibia wom. What the budget love for no Gino, we come your love.
Gino.
Perfume rice. I perfume rice. Different ones, Saba.
Aye. But we only tomato paste near there, Gino.
As for that, the
perfume
rice, no papa near.
it's time for sports on the midday news with me, James Ohinubamakian. Let's start from the World Cup, and Ghana has been placed in pot 4 for the 2026 FIFA World Cup group stage draw scheduled for 5th December in Washington, D.C. The Black Stars find themselves alongside Jordan, Cape Verde, Curacao, Haiti, New Zealand, the 4 UEFA playoff winners, and the 2 FIFA playoff tournament qualifiers in the lowest seeding pot. Their placement reflects Ghana's ranking relative to the other African teams that secure qualification for the expanded 48-team tournament. Africa's other representatives occupy stronger positions. Morocco and Senegal are seeded in pot 2. Egypt, Algeria, Tunisia, Cote d'Ivoire, and South Africa are in pot 3. With the draw rules preventing 2 African teams from being placed in the same group, Ghana will almost certainly face a top-tier nation from pot 1, which includes the likes of Spain, Argentina, England, Brazil, and France, as well as pot 2 sides such as Croatia, Japan, or Uruguay. The Black Stars will learn the opponents when the official draw is conducted on December 5. Now to the UEFA Champions League, and Arsenal face Bayern Munich on match day 5 of the UEFA Champions League, with both sides coming into the fixture in perfect form, each winning all 4 group stage matches so far. Ahead of the highly anticipated clash, Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta says he wants his players to bring the same energy that powered their 4-1 demolition of rivals Tottenham Hotspur. He emphasized that he expects the same hunger and determination when they take on the German champions.
With the same intention to win it, we made a really good preparation again, a really short one, but I think very efficient as well. We know the importance of the match. We are in a really strong position. We want to maintain that for sure, and we know that we have a beautiful and very demanding game ahead of us. For sure, and this is the kind of game in the competition that we want to face, and we've been very consistent in both competitions, as you mentioned. They've been as well, and tomorrow is a great test.
Now from Arsenal, let's move on to Bayern Munich, and their striker Harry Kane shared his expectations for what he believes will be a highly challenging encounter. The former Tottenham Hotspur forward praised Arsenal's strong team spirit and impressive form, noting that the Gunners currently sit atop both the Premier League and their Champions League group. Kane also highlighted one of Arsenal's biggest assets this season, their well-drilled set-piece routines, which have become a major source of goals. He expects Bayern to be fully tested by Arsenal's efficiency in those moments.
Yeah, it will be a really tough game for sure. Obviously, they're top of the Premier League for a reason. They've won every game in the Champions League for a reason. They have good habits as a team. They've been working with Mikel now for a long time, and I think you see the way they set up, the way they get second balls, the way they play. Obviously, can be really dangerous, and then with set pieces added to that as well, they're obviously a really solid team. So we have to try and match them in all those departments. We have to try and play in our way, in our style. Try and make it difficult for them to get the ball, try and keep the momentum on our side, and use kind of our strengths as well to try and win the ball back quick when they have it. So we'll be, 2 of the best teams in Europe going at each other tomorrow night, and we're looking forward to kind of testing ourselves.
So that's Harry Kane speaking. That'll be all for Sports on the Midday News with me, James Ohinubamakian. Up next is international news.
All 24 schoolgirls held by assailants following a mass abduction last week from a school in northwestern Nigeria have been rescued, the country's president announced on Tuesday. A total of 25 girls were abducted November 17 from the government's Girls Comprehensive Secondary School in Kebbi State's Maga town. But one of them was able to escape the same day, the school's principal said. The remaining 24 were all rescued, according to a statement from President Bola Tinubu, though no details were released about the rescue. I am relieved that all the 24 girls have been accounted for. Now, we must put, as a matter of urgency, more boots in the ground in the vulnerable areas to avert further incidents of kidnapping, the statement quoted Tinubu as saying. The attack in Kebbi was among a spate of recent mass abductions in Nigeria, including a raid Friday on the St. Mary's School in north-central Niger State, in which more than 300 students and staff from the Catholic school were abducted. 50 students escaped over the weekend. Musa Rabbi Magaji, principal of the primary Muslim school in Kebbi, told the Associated Press that all of the girls had been released, but that they were still in the custody of authorities. Still on international fronts, the Trump administration has ordered a full review of refugees who entered the United States during Joe Biden's presidency. An internal government memo says officials will recheck whether more than 200,000 refugees were properly screened before they were admitted. The review also pauses green card processing for these individuals until the government finishes examining their original cases. According to the memo, some refugees may be asked to sit for new interviews. If officials find that someone did not meet the refugee requirements at the time of their arrival, that person could lose their refugee status. In some cases, their family members might also lose their status. People who fail the review could even be placed into deportation proceedings. That's all for international news. Up next is entertainment news. In entertainment, South African rapper Nasty C says he's willing to reconcile with Ghanaian rap icon Sarkodie, describing their long-discussed feud as a misunderstanding rather than a deep personal conflict. Speaking on Joy Prime, Nasty C clarified that the perceived tensions originated from miscommunication surrounding his 2022 freestyle, No Big Deal. Despite the friction, Nasty C stressed that he is open to dialogue. He added that no meeting has been arranged yet, explaining that both artists have demanding schedules.
No. You didn't mention Sarkodie.
He's not in my top 3 at the moment, no.
Where is he? Top what?
He's definitely in the top 5.
Okay, but not top 3.
Not in my top 3 right now.
Will you do a collaboration with him after what has happened in the past?
I don't know. We'd have to have a conversation. And
you guys have still not had the conversation?
We haven't, no.
Why? What's keeping you?
I think a lot of things got lost in translation. And, you know, I don't know. No one's organized that sit down just yet, you know, and we're both just busy with our lives.
Will you go for the sit down if it's organized?
That is all for entertainment news, and this is how we wrap up ABC Midday News here on ABC News Ghana Television. We stream live on Facebook at ABC News GH _ for more news. Log on to our website at www.abcnews.gh. I am Peggy Nyakwabano. Enjoy the rest of your day.